Hey everyone, today I want to dive into another UX law that a lot of you may actually know, but never knew that it had a formal name. So this law is called the Pareto Principle. And what that states is that for many events and many experiences, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. So that hopefully rang a bell that it's the 80-20 rule in a lot of ways, but this gets a lot more psychological. So its origins stem back to Vilfredo Pareto, an economist who noticed that 80% of Italy's land was owned by 20% of the population. And though it may seem vague, the 80-20 way of thinking can provide insightful and endlessly applicable analysis of lopsided systems, including the user experience and a restaurant digital experience. So what do I mean by that? I think that this points to why digital experiences for restaurants should never be finished. A lot of agencies are rah alongside the client when they're rebuilding or designing this new website experience that has online ordering and loyalty all integrated. Everyone's pumped and happy. Boom, it launches, high fives, then poof. The agency's not as engaged, they kind of go on. I don't like that at all. We actually get really excited about what happens after the quote unquote fireworks. For us, that's where the magic happens, because once a site is launched, we can start to see where 80% of the positive and 80% of the negative effects are happening. We can see the origins. And it's in that 20% of origins where we can start to identify ways to make it better, ways to incrementally increase revenue, ways to make it easier, and the list goes on. And iteration is the key to realizing incremental high returns. So yes, when you launch a full custom web experience that's mobile first and all those words, when you do that, you will see more sales, but you still won't have realized the optimal amount of possible sales that can come through when you have a team that is focused on just turning the knob a little bit, understanding where those bumps are and where the 20% is derived. So we love to dig into that 20%. We love to see where it's happening. And oftentimes it's those little things, the seemingly little shifts that make the biggest impact, where you can see 1 point, 2 point, 3 point increases in revenue, AUVs, and all those other benchmarks and KPIs. So I say we focus the majority of effort on areas that are going to bring the largest benefits to the most users. And those areas are usually found within that little 20% that's having 80% effect on the rest of the experience. So the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto Principle, is a fantastic UX principle that can be applied to every digital experience for a restaurant brand. And actually it should be applied elsewhere too, because it's quite brilliant. As always, thanks for tuning in. Do follow us on YouTube, follow us here on LinkedIn as well. And thank you for paying attention. Please share this and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you've applied the 80-20 rule, or if you've gotten new inspiration after hearing this about how you can make things that you're doing even better. As always, cheers.